Welcome to the setup preview that features the Head Metallix 2 racket, but this time in it we've got it strung up with a hybrid setup. So in the mains it will be the Signum Pro Firestorm 1.30, a string that we've used quite a lot on this channel, but in the crosses it will be the Isospeed v18, the 1.12 gauge, so a very thin gauge. And the reason I put it in the crosses is because of that thin gauge. I'm not too sure about the durability, and I want to get the most out of this string for the time being. And I'm going to go straight into some of the stats here for the Isospeed, and we'll start off with the stiffness at 180.0 pounds. So that's quite a bit softer than the Signum Pro Firestorm at 185.7. And usually I don't like to make this big of a jump when it comes to the stiffness, but because it's a hybrid setup, I mean, it won't have as big of an effect on the characteristics of the setup, at least I'm hoping. The median of the two strings is just under 183 pounds, so I would expect the setup to behave in the same way a string that has a stiffness of 183 pounds would. And with the slightly lower stiffness, one would expect to have a little bit more feel, a little bit more length control, and this should also help with our shots that are further inside the baseline. So as we move into the forecourt and up at the net, we'd expect a little bit more control, a little bit more consistency and effectiveness when executing volleys, drop volleys, and shots from within the baseline. So I'd expect our effectiveness up inside the forecourt to go up a level. And on top of that, generally a lower stiffness means a little bit more comfort for the user. So a few good things we can expect, but the main reason is the added length control I'm expecting from putting this string in the crosses. I'm really trying to amplify the strengths of the racket, which are the length control, and hopefully it will increase our percentages from all courts. I was about to say from the back of the court, but from all areas of the court, I would hope our percentages go up in comparison to the Signum Pro Firestorm as a full bed. Moving on to the deflection at 33.1 millimeters. So this is about a little bit higher than mid-range. I was thinking that it might have been a good idea to look for a string with a lower deflection here and try and increase the height and line control alongside the length control we get from the lower stiffness. But of course I've already gone with this string, so if it is a weakness, then obviously I'll make a note of it, and then we'll try to improve the height and line control in the next iteration of this setup. But yeah, so 33.1 millimeters, exactly the same in terms of height and line. I'm expecting exactly the same consistency and accuracy. And onto the dwell time for the Isospeed, which is 35.9 milliseconds. Now I've always thought a lower dwell time means a lower launch angle, and generally the data suggests that that's the truth. If anything comes up that suggests I'm wrong, of course I will let everyone know. But seeing as the launch angle is most likely to be a little bit lower, I've got to take that into account. It does mean I'm going to have to effort the ball a little bit more over the net, otherwise they are going to go into the middle of the net. And in the past, with some setups, I haven't been too happy with a low launch angle because it does weigh on my stamina reserves, and I don't have that much to begin with anyway. So it's something that needs to be monitored at the very least. Hopefully we'll be all right. It's not that big of a jump, but it will probably be noticeable. Right, if we move on to the tension loss, we've got a number here for the Isospeed at 40.4%. So a little bit less, well, quite a bit less than the Pro Firestorm. And generally it means the characteristics of the string are not going to change as rapidly as a string with a higher tension loss percentage. The energy return is 86.5%. That's quite high. I wasn't really expecting that. Yeah, that's taken me aback. Usually a higher energy return means more shot speed and more shot spin on average. And then finally we've got the string to string friction, which is a little bit higher than the Pro Firestorm. It means that generally the string doesn't move and snap back as quickly as strings with a lower value. So that's the majority of the important attributes I wanted to highlight. What I'm expecting out on court, hopefully a lot more length control. It means we can be more aggressive from all areas of the court, whether it be behind the baseline, inside the baseline, or up at the net. And I'm also looking at trying to incorporate some drive volleys into my repertoire as well. The deflection being a little bit on the higher side, it's the same as the Pro Firestorm. We could get exposed if we come up against players that hit with consistent pace and heavy spin. It's a little bit more difficult to control those types of shots with a deflection that's this high. And bearing in mind that the head Metallix 2 also is low in terms of swing weight and twist weight, we're not getting much help from the racket in that area, although the stiffness at 68 and the frequency at 155 should help us a little bit in that regard. But of course, it can only do so much. We'll have to see. I'm not sure we'll be playing in too many conditions that are quick, seeing as we're going into the winter months, so we might be able to get away with it, but it is something on my mind. If I can get away with it, of course I'll continue, but if not, then we'll make changes that hopefully correct the issue. And yeah, quite honestly, I'm expecting every shot to go up a level, barring any surprises, but usually we do get some surprises in every experiment. I think it's a good thing because there's more data to collect and use for future setups. And that's going to bring us to the end of this setup preview. I want to thank everyone for watching and listening. I do appreciate it. Any suggestions, just drop me a comment and I will try my best to get back to you. And hopefully I will see you all on future videos. So until then, everyone, take care.